President Joe Biden and King Charles III on Monday met for the first time since the British monarch ascended to the throne, visiting Windsor Castle for all the pomp and circumstance with an on-arrival ceremony before a one-on-one meeting and a discussion on climate. Biden arrived to inspect an honour guard formed of the Prince of Wales Company of the Welsh Guards, with hundreds of uniformed troops, and its military band, positioned on the grassy quadrangle before a tent. The band played "God Save the King" upon the monarch's arrival and "The Star-Spangled Banner" upon Biden's entrance. This marks Biden's second trip to Windsor Castle since taking office. The president met the King's mother, Queen Elizabeth II, at her home just outside London in June 2021. The Queen met 12 U.S. presidents spanning her reign, all but President Lyndon Johnson. The president said at the time the Queen wanted to know about Russian President Vladimir Putin, whom Biden was meeting in Switzerland days after their visit, and Chinese President Xi Jinping. Biden said he wished he could have spoken to the Queen for longer. She was very generous, he told reporters. This latest meeting with Charles will be a closely watched moment for how the King balances his traditionally apolitical role with a cause he is passionate about that has become a signature priority. Biden has called climate change the existential threat to human existence as we know it. Biden, Sullivan told reporters, has huge respect for the King's commitment on the climate issue in particular. He has been a clarion voice on this issue and more than that, has been an actor, someone who's mobilized action and effort. And so the president comes at this with enormous goodwill at this relationship, Sullivan said, calling Monday's engagement an opportunity to deepen the personal bond and harness their shared interest in trying to drive climate progress and climate action. Biden, King Charles and Special Envoy for Climate John Kerry, Sullivan said, will meet with private sector leaders, at an event, focused on how we bring private capital off the sidelines in service of our climate objectives, the deployment of clean energy, the mitigation of carbon emissions, and help to developing countries in adapting to the impacts of climate change. The group will discuss barriers to private investment as Biden will encourage those in attendance to step up to their responsibilities, while also highlighting public investment, Sullivan said. In keeping with U.S. tradition, Biden did not travel to London for the coronation, but First Lady Drive. Jill Biden and granddaughter Finnegan Biden attended the ceremony. Both the President and First Lady did make the trip across the Atlantic for the funeral of Queen Elizabeth II last year. Earlier on Monday, Biden kicked off the first full day of his trip abroad with a London visit aimed at bolstering the US-UK special relationship, on the eve of a high-stakes summit with NATO leaders. Biden arrived at 10 Downing Street and was greeted by Prime Minister Rishi Sunak ahead of discussions on a range of issues, including Ukraine, a topic on which the two leaders have closely coordinated. Biden recounted all of the places he's met with Sunak, from San Diego, California, to Belfast, Northern Ireland, to Hiroshima, Japan, to Washington, D.C., 6 times in the 6 months since the Prime Minister took office. Couldn't be meeting with a closer friend or greater ally. Got a lot to talk about, Biden said, adding, our relationship is rock solid. And I look forward to our discussions.